What's up, you guys? Danger Rock here. Today we're going to be looking at the DC Universe Infinite Heroes Superman action figure. This figure stands at about 3.75 inches tall. It was released a while back, actually, and this is actually the version where Superman has red eyes. So, what we're going to be doing today is taking a closer look at the figure and comparing them with a newer Superman figure that I have. For starters, taking a closer look at the figure, this figure was made by Mattel. It's a really nicely detailed Superman, just in a smaller scale. And what we're going to do is actually see if we could get a year on this somewhere. I don't see the year on him. I believe this was 2011 to 2012 for some reason. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's just what I'm thinking for this figure. And what's really interesting about him is taking a look at the face sculpt. This figure was released two separate times, except this is the version that comes with the red eyes for his heat vision. So that's actually really, really cool. What I like about this is that even though the scale of this figure is very small, it is highly detailed. We got a nice comic looking S on Superman's chest. The red and the blue came out very nice on the figure. I think it works very well. Another thing I really like about it is this plastic cape, because when I have him standing up straight, I feel like the wrinkles on the cape here get him to stand in more of a dynamic pose. Like if I just stand him up straight, I like the way the cape is not cloth, or else it would just look like this hanging piece of fabric from the side. So that's something I always liked. Another thing I really like about this is the S symbol they put on the back of his cape that looks very comic book accurate. And the reason why I say that is because not all Supermans have the S on the back of the cape. Like, I remember Superman Returns didn't have that, which I didn't really like Superman Returns, but this figure overall is just great. So the cape is not like bendable, flexible, or anything. If you bend it, it'll just go right back to the pose that it was in. But what I really like is that for a figure this size, he's super well articulated. So you could fully rotate his head a full 360. It doesn't really hinge up and down at all. It's just on this joint. Arms go out. They rotate all the way around. They bend at the elbows, which is really nice. Legs kick outward that far. They bend at the knees. And they don't really go back at all because of his cape, which is kind of a shame. But it's actually okay, because if I wanted to get Superman in this flying pose, right, and I wanted the pose to be with his left arm, I could maybe put him on a little figure stand and just simulate that he's flying somehow. And when I put his arm down, he just stands up straight like another Superman figure. Now, what I do have here, as far as comparisons go, a figure that I think is really, really good, which this was made by Mattel. The figure I'm about to show you guys was made by Spin Masters. So right here we have Spin Masters Superman. This figure is a bit bigger, and he does have a little bit more points of articulation. He just has the swivel right here in his legs and in his knees, which this guy unfortunately doesn't have. One thing that's really interesting to note too is this one does have the S on the cape. So that's a plus for both of these, but here it's fabric. Here it's plastic. So if we compare the two next to each other, in my opinion, the plastic one just looks far more better, because when I have him standing on the shelf and I look at him from the side, yeah, it doesn't look like this hanging piece of cloth right here. So that's actually really, really interesting. And I know this Superman is like in a different color too. Like it's silver and blue. This is actually a variation of the Spin Master Superman. But I have to give the Mattel one credit because it has a much better head sculpt. The Spin Masters version does not have the heat vision eyes, but that's okay. I do like the S symbol on the Mattel version better because they sculpted all this muscle into him, which makes him stand out a heck of a lot more, in my opinion. And also his yellow belt area right here, I should say, colored in. So the Mattel version wins it hands down. Now, for as much as I like this figure a lot, there are some things about him that are not perfect. But I really only find a few flaws. Like, his hands are actually very large. I'm not quite sure why they made his hands so large. I think what they could have done is went with an open hand to kind of get him into a flying pose. But that's something that I did not like. The other thing that I didn't like was you can only get his head to rotate. It doesn't hinge up and down, which if I wanted to get him to a flying pose, I would just like to pose him having his head look up a little, but you can't really do that on this figure. It's completely stiffened into that same position. But what I will say is I still prefer it over here than on that figure right there. But he is still really detailed. Like, if I put him on a shelf next to all my other Superman figures, I feel like my eyes are just going to go to this one because I can actually see that these joints right here where he has articulated elbows and knees, he's got so much more detail. Like, I could even see the tiny detail they put like these curls right into his hair. It might be kind of hard to see on camera, but you can actually see all the detail sculpted right in there. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's a comic book Superman. So to me, it's like a classic Superman to me. I always love these DC Universe Classics figures. So I would definitely suggest you guys get this one over this one, which is not to say that this line and this one right here is not good, because it is very good. But going back to this one right here, I would completely recommend them. The only thing that I would not recommend is back then these retailed for about $10 each, which I always felt like that was a lot for a figure of this size. Now, I ended up paying a little bit more for this because I never got this back at retail. I think I spent around $15 on this guy because I got him off of eBay, and this is the version that comes with the red eyes. So you can't really get this in stores anymore, but I feel like for a figure of this size, I feel like the $5 range would have been more appropriate. But some of these kind of are a little bit expensive now, so I would not recommend paying full price for this. I would wait to see if you could maybe find or get a good deal on him. But overall, it's still one of my favorite, like, top Superman figures. So I would still definitely recommend this one. And yeah, this has been my review of the DC Universe Infinite Heroes Superman with red eyes version. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this figure? Do you think he was worth picking up, and does he go well with your Superman collection? I look forward from hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the next video review.